job. It was the most boring thing ever.
Are you serious?
Oh my!
It's one of my top all-time films. I know we're way off topic here, but Jaws is a classic.
Well, we got to talk about this.
We're gonna have to.
And I used to show that every year just before Florida vacation.
Oh yeah. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to another edition of the Aloha Pools and Spas Deep Dive Podcast. Anyway, I'm John Watts along with Brad Cook, and today, you know him, our very own Larry Essary. He's been on here before. We wanted to revisit the refurbishments and the renovations, or what did we decide, Brad?
Well, the last refurbished video we did, or the podcast we did, was Larry was featured, and we did we talked a lot about refurbs. And I thought, man, if he had some pictures of, well, one, we've got about 8 new refurbished jobs or remodel jobs on the list for the year. And several of them are complete at this point. And so I wanted to bring Larry back in and just to have some show and tell before and after type conversation, just to kind of get an idea, because try as we might to paint the picture of what we can do with a pool, why would we when we've got the picture?
Right. For every 1,000 words we say, we could just show a picture.
Wow. And then we could be quiet.
Yeah, we could just shut up.
Right. But then we wouldn't hear ourselves talking, right? Yeah. So anyway, welcome, Larry. Appreciate you coming back on, man.
Well, thank you for the opportunity.
Yeah, appreciate what you do for the company. With Larry's one of our go-to guys. That you just ask him to do it and get in there and do it. He draws plans for me from the state of Kentucky for commercial pools, and sometimes I'll get a pool on the books, and he'll take it on through the end. There's a lot to selling a pool at Aloha Pools and Spas. You don't just sell the pool and here's a contract. Good luck, everybody, and walk away from it.
I thought it was one signature.
Yeah, that's a really good start. Check. That's a really good start.
Then the pool shows up one morning.
Yeah, and then it's already made. Yeah. You just lower it.
Just it's not that magical. No, it's actually getting the contract in our world is about 25% of the work, and the 75% is the ordering of the parts and the calling of the utilities and there's the drawings and things like that come with the handoff that goes to the construction department, who takes and carries out the work. But a lot leading up to that. Larry does an excellent job of all that, and for some reason it seems to have a little bit of a passion, and I think I know where his passion comes from, for the for remodeling pools, because Larry himself. And another quick story about Larry is he came to work for us he didn't come to work for us. In fact, we came to know him as a customer. So we sold him a pool, and we know he's a particular type of person. And so he would come in every Saturday and spend a little bit more. He was watching that money, and slowly he was watching it leave his wallet and go to our bill collectors. And but at any rate, Larry came to work for us, and as soon as he asked, I didn't interview him. I just said, "Yeah, come on," because I like Larry and respected him as a customer.
That's how things work for boomers
as well. Okay,
it doesn't work that way in the new world,
right?
You can't just ask and jobs fall out of the
tree.
You
just show up to work.
Yeah. He shows up to work every day and does an excellent job. But Larry kind of got used to having an Aloha pool. And then for some reason, I don't really know why, but he had we put him in a really cool 632 Deer Creek pool, had a blue step and had a nice everything. And but they sold their house, and they bought a house in town with a pool by others. Would you say? And
yeah, that would be kind.
Okay. And and so Larry, within a couple of years, I think he got sick of it. And so what happened then?
Well, I couldn't even drink my morning coffee out there. I'd get about halfway through the cup, look around, and have to go inside to finish it. So
isn't that ugly?
Just made the man.
A certain amount of pressure by my dear wife. One day we just said, "Hey, let's do it." So
Right.
that was kind of the beginning of our refurb.
Yeah, and so Larry's got this design of a shelf and step combination. Tanning shelves are probably one of the number one things that we are selling now on new pools that we weren't 10, 15, or 20 years ago whenever Larry's pool was filled. So, but Larry's got a step shelf combination that keeps a picture of us saved on his phone, and he shows it to customers. And that he finally sold so many of them. I said, "Man, I gotta figure out how to build these things faster." And so I think we figured that out. And not only have we figured that out, we've got a lot of different combinations now that we can offer, and it's really cool. And I think customers are absolutely loving it. And I love providing it for our customers. But here, I guess, is a picture of
what they just saw flash on the screen, and now all of a sudden,
boom. So that's Larry. That's your old pool. Is that correct?
That was a little jewel, yeah.
That's where you were trying to drink coffee, and you kept looking at that. And
yeah, I don't know what's all of that. What the word goodness? It's got all the different colors of the earth.
It looks like Yellowstone. It's like those hot springs in Yellowstone. That's beautiful.
Yeah, exactly. What's not to love about that? So what didn't you like about that, Larry? Besides everything.
Yeah, but I don't know where to start. We had ideas of getting rid of those steps for sure.
Right.
And you can't see it in there, but the concrete was matching the pool. It was cracked and heaved, and
right.
It was just kind of an eyesore, to be honest with you.
Yeah, and you'll see here in a little bit on the after picture. I don't know how much the after picture is, but that is not it.
No, well, what we did there.
All right, hold on. Let me go back here.
Yeah, that was kind of a intermediary step of, hey, we got to get rid of that liner. So we just threw an old liner into the pool, knowing that wasn't our fix. That got us through one summer.
So that's just a new liner only.
Yeah, new liner only. Nothing changed except I cleaned up a little.
But you gotta just stop and give that the respect it deserves.
Yeah, the difference. Yeah,
you can take a 10-year-old liner that looks like that, and then
boom.
Yeah, maybe you do it in phases like we did. We had this vision, but wasn't complete in our mind. So we said, hey, to get through the summer, let's do a stopgap. Now, even the stopgap, I mean, if you wanted to stop there, and certain people wanted to stop right there,
just a new line, yeah.
It's functional.
That's even better. Yeah, it's functional, but that was a stopgap for us.
Right. Larry, how was the coffee when you're sitting out drinking coffee? How long could you get over half a cup or no?
Yeah. Well, yeah, I could get a cup through this. Now I can drink a pot out there.
Okay.
You'll see.
So there's your difference. How you couldn't get without the new liner, you couldn't even hardly get half a cup.
Right.
Half a cup. And now this is a full cup.
There you go.
All right, should we go ahead and jump straight to the pot of coffee?
Well, now. Yeah.
That just shows the space we created. Okay. I think this was some type of shower Kathy had hosted, but
now if you look in the back though, you're going to see the waterfall.
Yeah, we added that. We decided not to put the board back.
Okay.
Just didn't kind of fit our lifestyle.
You don't do a lot of jumping in?
I don't do a lot of 2.5 gainers anymore. No,
really?
And so that I thought was a good addition.
Could you ever do a gainer? Well, what was your best trick on that board?
It wasn't really a trick. I jumped off the big tower at Reelfoot Lake, and I think I was doing kind of ever dive frailing going down. But, yeah.
Well, that's quite intimidating.
Yeah.
That I can do a lot of stuff on the dive board, but when you get on the high dive, forget about it.
So, and then the cornhole space you added. Is that what this is?
Yeah, absolutely. We had all kinds of landscaping. The old place did, and I concreted all that. Brad's sitting there, and he'd tell any customer. He said, I've heard him say it 1 million times. I've never had a customer come up to me and say, I think I poured too much concrete.
Right.
So, I just said, I want all that concrete.
So it's not as much the cornhole we're looking at as it is the stamped concrete and how well that.
Yeah. Well, no, we use the heck out of the cornhole.
So when you did this and you redid this, how do you feel about your amount of concrete now? I mean, seriously, do you feel like you got enough, or you feel like you could add more?
There's one little spot that I mean, there always is.
Yeah, right.
But oh yeah, very functional now. A lot of space. You can't see around the corner, but it's a full, umbrella and set. Yeah, there you go.
Right. And there's kind of the money shot.
There we are.
Because you can send what he did with our step shelf combination that's got a lot of popularity
We
here
love that.
recently. And your loungers there, we got to get the guys on that make those loungers.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah.
What's the name of that lounger?
Tin Jam.
Tin Jam. Yeah.
Tin Jam.
Made in the U.S. And it
Is that the little spot
comfortable.
we're looking at here that you wish was concrete?
No, it's on back behind that tree.
Ah, okay.
But it looks like you got a sidewalk that meanders its way all the way out.
All the way out
to the front there.
Yeah, the garage. Yeah.
So one of the things that is pretty standard with our stamped concrete is that skimmer lid that you see right there. It just it's called a pour a lid, because you're pouring concrete into the lid.
Oh.
But when you look at pool pictures, and that white or gray skimmer lid, it just pops right off the screen. And for me, when I'm looking at a picture of a pool, I can't see, sometimes I now can't see the pool for the skimmer lid.
Oh yeah. So the
Now,
whole idea is that this matches.
it's practically making it invisible. And when you compare it up against the pool with a skimmer lid, it's just kind of, it shows up about how it doesn't show up.
And what do? You actually pour the concrete into the lid? Is that what it is?
Yeah, it's about 1.5 inches of concrete, just comes right out of the truck, right into the lid.
Does that make it super heavy, like a manhole cover?
It makes it not quite manhole cover heavy, but I think it makes it about 10 pounds, about 8 to 10 pounds,
Okay.
something like that. Something that you can lift it with 2 fingers pretty easily.
So we're looking at the whole thing now before drinking coffee level. Now you can see the water feature and the tables there, but the concrete, and then the boom.
2 sips, from
Yep.
2 sips of coffee up to a pot. Right.
So-
there.
That's right.
So we're gonna go back to the next pool here, and let's see what we're looking at.
So don't know the name of this pool project here, but I can tell you by looking at the project here, the white aluminum coping that you saw on Larry's pool previously has been removed from this pool. We basically sawed off the pea gravel that went up to the edge of the aluminum coping. And then so we made that extra void. And a lot of people will call our service department and say, I want to change this aluminum coping. And they think that it's something that you can just pull right off without having to touch the concrete, but you can't, because the concrete is poured up into it. So the way it goes, the way the installation process goes is you set the walls, and then you screw the coping down, and then the screws are covered with the concrete. And then the
Okay.
concrete goes up into this aluminum coping, and there's just no way to remove it without removing concrete. So whenever a customer calls and wants us to change that coping out, we typically will do something like this, where if not only will we change the edge out, we won't put another aluminum edge back, but we'll just have an exposed concrete edge, which is the most popular thing that's out there right now.
Right.
It's an upgraded price because of all the work that goes into it. But even if it's on a new pool, it's an upgraded over the price of aluminum coping. But it looks every bit the value of the coping of the money that goes into that. And that's just kind of a expanded version of the entire project. And so
That a diving board base? Is that what that is?
it is. And what you're looking at there, what I'm seeing, just to kind of give you some perspective, it may, I mean, just tons to everybody, but for the pool people that might be watching, the aluminum coping it's typical to be like 2 3/8 inch tall. Well, when you go back with a concrete form, or when you build a pool with a concrete form on the inside, it's 3.5 inches tall. So there's a little bit of an inch, a little bit around an inch of form material sticking above the level of the concrete. But when we pour that back, we just pour it level, and it turns out quite nice. And we've done this on several pools. I think Mike can keep moving to find more of a finished product here, and it doesn't change the look of the pool as dramatically, say, as the one that Larry did on his pool. But as you can see there, I guess you're getting now to kind of not what it was. That's more of a during picture. Probably rehearse this next time. A lot of good pictures though.
Yeah, and to be fair, these are construction photos that were submitted to. So if you ever do this, you have your refurb with us. We can always reference back to what it looked like. This is all in our system because that's where I pulled these from.
Looks like they replaced a piece of the top of the wall that goes around the pool right there. I didn't.
Oh, this one, yeah.
It looks like they added a little piece of wall around the top right there. And people a lot of times will ask, what about that rust on the wall? And all that gets treated and recovered before the liner goes in. So a lot of times but it's really cool for before and afters, because it makes the pool just look like it's on its last leg, and then next thing you know, you get to that finished product where it's revived. I guess we get to that finished product.
Well, I was looking for the finished product, and I don't guess this one had a finished product photo. So
imagine a really nice pool with a really nice cottage and really nice and thing looking really beautiful.
What I'll do with this one in particular is try to find a finished product photo to put right here.
Right here.
Right.
Yeah. There it is. Yeah. It is. Yeah. She loved it.
If nothing else, maybe we'll I think I know the person that owns that last pool, so I'll give him a call. And see.
You're making that up?
No,
serious?
No, I think I do.
Okay.
And then I'll see if they can take a photo. So let's go back to the where we're at here. Now let's just black screen.
And Larry, you didn't have anything to do with that one that you could think of.
No, I did not. But I can tell you what that demonstrates to me is if everybody has a level that they want to get that pool to.
Right.
And that's a good example of being able to save your own concrete.
Right.
And just dress the pool up, get rid of some issues, and still have a really nice functional pool.
I know who this one is. This is the earliest shot that we got. This pool.
I think so. And yeah, so that's what we're looking at here.
Yeah, so this is kind of a mid redo. What this was an old pea gravel pool deck with the white steps that comes out of the end, like you've seen here on a couple different photos. But we took the entire deck off the pool and went back with the cantilever stamped concrete, and then a full width set of steps on it. Now we have the after picture on this one.
So that's the old concrete, right? That's the
right.
And then, no, we don't have a whole lot of finished.
Right. Well, I know who that one is. Larry, you can get us a finished picture of that.
I can.
Right. Yeah. You think you have it on your phone? It's a couple years old, but
I'll edit this part, and when we say finished, hopefully put that up.
Good friends of mine, I can have 5 minutes after.
And we'll try to do that for all of these that we don't have.
Right. So I'm going to pretend like that. So it's out there. We're looking at. So you can see, kind of imagine that old pool with the white steps. If you remember, now look at the new pool with all the new concrete. You cannot tell that from a brand new pool that we built. And it could be a brand new pool we built this year. So
they were in the store last week. They just love it. They just talk about it every time they get an opportunity to.
Ooh, what are we looking at here?
All right, here's the next pool,
and that's not theirs, is it? Because that's not the same. Is that the same pool?
No.
Okay. All right. Gotcha. And
Also in Martin, but not the
Okay.
same pool.
so we come into this picture. The before is not quite. This is more of a during, but you can see that we had moved. There's a new wall panel in there that's not all the way up. We removed the steps from the pool, that white step sticking out from the pool. And then John is going to keep going through there. You can see where now we formed up a set of steps for the pool. Now there are the steps forward.
So is this a gunite pool, I guess?
No, this is a vinyl pool with a.
Or we just formed the steps. Okay.
Now they've got a new floor in, got the walls covered, formed up for concrete, new filter system, deck drain coming across, got the rebar tied in the concrete, all dressed up, ready for a liner. And there's our new patio. Yes, looking like a pool now. Looking like a pool, stamped concrete deck on it. Can't see the skimmer lid, which tells me we've got 4 lids in there. And we're all new plumbing. Just waiting on that liner. Waiting on that money shot. So you got the handrail jig. Now we got the handrail in, got the ladder in. Just waiting on.
It's a whole lot, yeah. And then ta-da! Boy, we skipped the liner part, but there we are. There's the finished product.
Yeah, and those full length steps you can't see from here, but it changes the way that a pool is used because. And I had in 1997, I built my fancy 18 by 40 pool with a set of steps all the way across the end, and people would sit.
Oh yeah.
Sit all the way across the end of the steps. It's not the same as the little 8-foot step all across there. It's a whole new environment. My kids grew up learning to swim, and they would start off on the second step and walk back and forth, and that was their whole shallow end. And then the next year, as they got a little taller, they would go down to the third step until they finally were tall enough to get down into the shallow end floor of the pool. So I've got fond memories of the pool with steps for that. And
so at least we jumped to the finished product on this one. And again, yeah, in the system, sometimes I guess, whenever the guys are out there, they have time to get, a certain amount. Like this one had a whole bunch of photos of the in process and the concrete, but some, like we only had 4 or 5 photos of yours. So it's kind of limited, since we're looking into the past on this, we don't have all the photos that you probably want to see, but this is what we've had on some of the choice.
We got to get better at this. Just to help people visualize what.
Well, one of the things I've requested now is for everyone, all the PCs, the project coordinators, to get a before and an after. And I don't care if it's a before that's just a yard, and then the after that's the pool. And if I get that, then I could tell the story. Right. Of how the pool goes.
On a new build, or even in this case, on a refurbish.
Yep. And we're going to jump down to this one. And we see here, we're mid. Let's see if I can jump to.
Go all the way over to the other. Just go all the way as far as you can. Wrong way.
So there's that way, and then we go all the way.
It looks like we're coming into this one mid-project right here.
Yeah.
Yeah. So what we did on this one, Larry, are you familiar with this, John?
Not that one.
Okay. I know where this is. It's in Arkansas. Had an automatic pool cover that somebody let the water get. Didn't put the pump on the pool cover. It pulled the walls in, the automatic cover out. So we went back in. Sawed out all of the area and that we needed to get down it and dig out where the braces are and straighten the wall up on the pool. And once we got you see that how the wall was bent in, and we got looks like we got the wall straight, and now we're forming up to pour back the new edge around the pool there. You can see how right there where some of their patio is still there, and we're ready to pour.
So
Once
that's
it was-
another level right there. That just goes to show you what we can do. Don't give up on your pool. Call a dozer. I mean that.
right.
Yeah, that was bent in, and look how straight that is.
Okay, and this is not an indictment on anybody else that builds pools, but we know we built this pool several years ago, so we know what's down in the ground. Because in some cases, if the wall is moving out at the bottom of the pool because they didn't foot the pool properly, meaning put a good footing on the pool at the bottom of the pool, then it's the work that it would take to get to that point is we can get a pool torn out. But just sometimes when it's quicker on us to pour a pool, pull a pool out. In this case, there's just way too much going on. It did not make sense to do. The pool wasn't that old to start with. And we were able to get in behind this, straighten everything out, put this is during the pour here, and hopefully we'll get over to the finished product. Had an automatic pool cover. We got everything kind of secured back.
There you go. And there's that concrete you were talking about.
Yeah, that's the finished product. New liner. Looks like $1 million, but it's a refurb. So we made that one work. Made the customers happy. They were in the process of selling. The people in that house next door are the children of the people that bought this house. So now they live next door to their grandkids, and I think everybody's living happily ever after at this point.
Great. All right. Looks like we're just going to skim this one.
No, we remodeled their skimmer basket.
Yeah. We emptied it.
Right. Yes, exactly. The very nice skimmer basket. Thank you.
So yeah.
So yeah. Oh, and we didn't do that either.
Yep. And so again, there we go. There is the
finished product.
The finished product. And this one was just this part, I think, on this refurb. This was just a small little refurb of this one area.
I just think we had to replace the skimmer for the customer.
Yeah, so that was just, it wasn't and I think that I left this in because we were going to talk about just how no matter big or small, like if you just had one area, your skimmer basket was messed up, that kind of thing, we could fix it.
Yeah, but leave it there because there's a couple of things that we can talk about there. Yeah.
Okay.
If you have a skimmer that's damaged, it renders, and there's leaking, kind of renders the pool almost useless until you get, and go back for me one time. Yeah, right there. No. Oh, go back to the skimmer open. And when we do that, keep it right there.
Okay, sorry.
When we do that, you can see there's a pipe coming out of the back side of the form. It's covered, but you can see you can see it right there. It gives us opportunity to put in an overflow for a customer if they want. And sometimes the overflow is handy for, like, it's July. Have you ever seen so much rain in July? I can't.
Been a long time.
I don't recall. I was telling some friends that I recall a few years ago we had rain all the way up through July and into August. It was August before it stopped raining. I don't remember when. I don't know if you were with us at that point or not, but it's rained a lot in July. And so the overflow basically just allows it to, some people like it, some people don't. And we went 50 probably years, my family did, without building, putting overflows in the back of skimmers. But the skimmers that we use now have a little socket that it's optional, that you can glue a piece of pipe in and run it out the back, and you basically have that option as an overflow, or you could cap it off if you want. But that is an option. But sometimes we have returns that break right there at the wall, or they break somewhere down at a 90 or somewhere in the piping. And that's just something that a service we provided for our customers. And on new pools, we warranty it so much that the customer won't pay for probably, I'm going to say 10 years or something like that. But in the case of, that we just started doing that a couple of years ago, but actually did. I tell the story a lot. I'm gonna toot my own horn. This podcast brought to you by us. There's a lady in Arkansas, and I tell my team this all the time. I know you've heard it 1,000 times. Brittany was the service manager at the time, calls me and says, this lady in Arkansas, Blythe area, that has an inlet that's leaking. How much you charge? And I said, well, who built the pool? And she said, we did in 2017. This was like in 2024. I said, well, we're not going to charge anything for that. I just couldn't see myself doing that, because you glue plumbing underground and you do it right, it's just going to be there. Unless something could have shifted and something could have happened that wasn't on us, but then was it their fault? You know what I mean? Right. So anyway, we'll go a little bit above and beyond it. That whole 1-year workmanship warranty, I'm not a huge fan of that. But in the world of 1-year workmanship warranty, it's kind of something to hide behind, if you ask me, and we just don't do that. But changed their skimmer out, got them going again. Okay, this is a guy pool. Something caught on fire around this pool. Maybe that's a new house. I don't know. The pool is not very old, but they wanted us to come in and to see. In this pool, I thought we were going to be replacing the coping. It looks like they just went ahead and let us pour up a cantilever edge all the way up to the very, very front. I think we replaced the skimmer on this, but I'm not seeing it. So flip on through there. Let's see. Concrete pool with plaster finish. And
we were working up into the late hours, apparently.
Looks like, in the rain.
In the snow, rain.
Yeah, something like that.
That's the concrete pour must have gone late, because that's where we have right here.
Yeah. That's all you got on this pool.
Yep.
So imagine it full of water. Really beautiful right now.
Wonderful.
Yeah.
And
this looks like a new pool, but it may not be.
Well, what happened on this one was a big 20 by 40 concrete pool.
This is over in Missouri.
It is.
Yeah.
And
this is you sold this pool.
I did.
Yeah.
And what we were able to do was haul in some material and create a new level surface there. And we actually set a fiberglass pool.
Oh, just like you said, look at that.
Boom. Yeah, you wake up one morning, you have a pool. Right. But I think, this pool was still like 14 by 35 or something. So really nice aspen pool in it.
Yeah. And so just to share a little bit back up, if you don't mind, John, just leave it right there for a second while. If you see up in the kind of the top right where we sawed out the wall on this pool, this was a fiberglass pool, concrete floor pool. Fiberglass wall, concrete floor, and have been kind of, I guess I don't tread lightly because I don't want to bash something. It's one of the few pools that we don't build just because of the several reasons. The biggest thing is there's a lot of places to lose water in that pool, or the seam all the way around the bottom of the pool, and the fact that you have to pay a pool, and the fact that we are in a high water. A lot of the areas where we work are in high water table situations. Not sure where you and you live out there. If you guys have in this town, we're sitting on water's probably about 4 feet 10.
I'm lucky on a hill.
Yeah, so we wouldn't be an issue for you. But to repaint a pool, sometimes when, let's just say the pool has been leaking all winter and it's not a high water, but because the pool leaking, you've created a high water situation. So if there's any crack in the concrete, you may be midsummer, or in this case, like with a summer like this, you may be September before you could ever paint your pool for the spring, and because there's water constantly running into the pool. So you can't paint a pool, and we just never, for that reason, never painted a pool. Believe it or not, I'm bidding a pool that a commercial pool that's taking paint, that's specced out as paint. We'll see how that goes. So I may not be able to say that next year, but I hope. So
now we're just looking at
so where we came in with the plumbing, the pool's got a tanning shelf on it, very popular these days. I think this is called an aspen. You say it's a 14 by 30 aspen?
14 by 35, I think.
14 by 35, yeah. Aspen. I have a 14 by 30 here in Union City.
So they just took the existing concrete
Right.
and when we put a basically like a new build.
They took the concrete.
Looks like they went with the regular skimmer lids on it.
Yes, that's before, and that's interesting. I didn't even know you could do that. I thought you'd have to rip more out.
You know, sophisticated pressure testing system there. And there's your
Yep. The photos are not necessarily in order. Yep.
Yeah.
We get through all those. Yeah, we don't necessarily want to show anything with the information.
Names and prices and all that. So, and somewhere in there, the picture of the finished product there with the concrete around it. I presume. I trust.
Yeah. Let's see. Did we start there?
Yeah. And so John, so everybody can understand, John is pulling these off of our Service Titan program, which is where all the photos that are uploaded from the crewmen, I think we're on another job
right
now. He's pulling all these off Service Titan, so these pictures live on this customer's file, as well as all the phone calls and texts. A little shout out to that program because it costs a lot of money, but man, it's so helpful for us and our customers as well. So, Larry, do you know what we're looking at here?
I may need to see a little more, but I'm not sure if that's what I was involved in.
Yeah. So this could just be a basic liner job, so you can kind of see what a old wall system could look like. Can look like if it has been neglected, and you'll see that we've got a lot of pools that are 50 to 60 years old at this point out there made just like this, and only one time have we ever had to replace any steel over the pools. And this is basically a liner.
There's a contrast.
Yeah, exactly. So that's just what.
Now tell me about the pumps there. The air that just sucks all the air off from.
That's basically all is happening. That the liner's made pretty close to the dimensions of the pool, and we will have the liner made. Like I can tell you, looking at that pool, those are 5-foot sidewalls on that pool, and sometimes they're 4-foot sidewalls or 4'6" sidewalls. It's just all over the place, and so we measure all of our liners to fit. Pardon me. The pool is that we're changing. Yeah, we're changing, and the vacuum basically pulls it the rest of the way into place. So it looks like they've got a couple of vacuums on there, and sometimes in those hot water situations, we need the one like was on the left that where it doesn't fill up. There. Yeah. Oh, okay. We spent it before on this because this is a really cool. Can you take me to a before on this?
I'm looking to see if we have a before, and we don't.
Yeah. So where that tanning shelf ends, a vinyl pool begins. So basically, we had to create a gasketing system to waterproof where the liner ends, and the gunite with plaster and tile tanning shelf begins. And so the customer had some issues underneath the steps. The pool was built on some tracks that we found out later, and it settled. And so we brainstormed what we could do to get them that fixed. And basically, we kind of spanned over the troubled area. We filled in the troubled area with rock, and basically created them a hybrid swimming pool that is partially gunite and partially vinyl.
Oh, so have we ever done that since, or
I have not?
Seems unique.
I just don't. It's a pretty costly endeavor. I mean, it costs probably about 10 times more than a liner job does. But I mean, you're looking at, you can be upwards of $60,000 to do something like this. But if you do, stop it right there. Stop it back one before. Right there. Lots of stuff going on here. When you step into a pool, for one, we took the concrete on the outside of the pool and just turned it down and made it a really abrupt slope, almost like a step, but by leaning it in, through the tanning shelf. What happens when you do that is you're dropping 3 inches in 1 foot, whereas the rest of that drops 1 inch every 12 inches.
Okay.
So it would be 3 inches in 3 feet. So what we would have had to have done is come on out into the sidewalk all the way out to get it to be like a true beach entry where you start walking and you have a 1 in 12 slope all the way down. And so if you think about it from that standpoint, we bent it down and we took 3 feet of walk away by just bending that down. That coped edge around there, and it kind of looks like a coped edge. It's stamped and it's got a saw joint around it, and so it's kind of a it separates itself from the patio, it separates itself from the pool, and then when you step down that way, when you step down into all the real estate is water now. Water comes all the way up now, but it's got tile there because it doesn't need plaster where water may lower. So if they're gone on vacation for a couple of weeks and nobody's tending the pool, for whatever reason, the evaporation takes a couple inches of water out. It's not sitting there and you got dry plaster that's exposed to the sunshine.
It'll be the tile. Okay.
So we took a lot of effort and to try to, we've got that same tile going around the border, or a matching tile to go around the border, and you got that cobblestone like tile going on there. We're really proud of the way that ended up looking. The difference in the colors, to me, I like the contrast on it. It's kind of like a beach color, when that dark sand look to it, and then dropping down into the deep water, kind of like an ocean does. If you ever fly over like Cancun or anywhere where there's Florida, where there's white sand beach, and you got that really light color,
light water, and then
color water, and then as the deeper it goes, the deeper so it kind of provides that effect. The deeper the blue is, and that provides that kind of effect right there. That's one of my
off topic. You ever swam out into the dark blue water?
Scared to death of it. I saw Jaws. I didn't see Jaws. I saw the trailer of Jaws.
Yeah, you've never seen Jaws.
Actually, we were forced to. We've got this motel, right? And I'll send you to Shark Week. And one night I sat in my 59 year, it was like last year. I was last years old when I saw Jaws. It was the most boring thing ever.
Are you serious?
Oh my.
It's one of my top all-time films. I know we're way off topic here, but Jaws is a classic.
Well, we got to talk about this.
We're gonna have to.
And I used to show that every year just before Florida vacation.
Right? Oh yeah.
Now it happens in Florida.
It's one of the best, and I have a degree in film, so I can talk about this. It's one of the best films out there.
Why?
It's probably in the acting, the story. I know that it's a little cheesy with some of the special effects, like Bruce the shark.
Okay.
But the story of him talking about the Indianapolis and then the scars, and then just the pacing was perfect.
When you watch it as in the world where you scroll, and we talk about in marketing that videos cannot be over 1 minute long, or people won't watch it. Now you ask me to sit down for even me, at my age, I grew up watching these long movies. But now imagine you're sitting there and it's kind of dark in the room, and then half of the scene is some dude contemplating and lighting up a cigarette. I've never seen it take so long. I used to smoke. It does not take that long to light up a cigarette. And I don't want to watch you do it. I want to know I want something else.
Our attention spans have been destroyed by social media. This is why. Keep your kids off screens, or they'll turn into bread.
That's why you're watching it now, because it's gone the other way. Right. And then everybody I found myself listening to Theo Vaughn. I swear I get dumber when after watching one Theo Vaughn podcast. No offense, but
he's watching right now.
Right, sure. Yeah, he's always.
We'll tag him.
Right. He's trying to learn. But I get. I need that connection. I need people talking about stupid stuff. I mean, honest to gosh, I was cooking bacon the other day. I don't watch this. Listening to Theo Vaughn talk to some chick, another comedian. Anyway. Jaws is boring. It's not scary anymore. Fun fact. All right. I know we got to get back on topic. Well, I would go to Florida. We went to Florida vacation during the Jaws thing. I was in an indoor pool where sharks can't get in. and it was indoors, right?
Wait, sharks couldn't get in?
No, exactly right. But I wouldn't stretch my legs out into the deep end of the pool.
Yeah.
I knew there wasn't any sharks in the pool, but I was pretty sure there wasn't any sharks in his pool, right? It had that kind of effect on me when I was a kid. But then when I watched it as a grown up, I was like, man.
I was just saying, when I was a kid, I wouldn't walk through a puddle.
Yeah.
After watching Jaws, it was terrifying.
Exactly. And it did have that kind of impact. But watching it now, I was like, wow.
It's a little harder. The Birds, Alfred Hitchcock is another one that's a slow burn that I think a lot of the things, or what's the one with Damien? The Omen is another. It's very slow. The old 60s, 70s, which are the best horror movies, by the way, not to get off on that, but all the 60s, 70s, and 80s horror movies that just took that time to build the tension, build the scene.
Right.
Have you ever seen Ghost in the Darkness?
Oh, Ghost in the Darkness. No.
Lions of Sabo, when they were building the railroad track through that territory, were eating all the workers.
I haven't seen it though.
Myself and another adult guy, business trip, Buffalo, New York, went into a little town, watched it in the theater, much like the one downtown here. We had parked down and we had to cross 2 alleys, and both of us ran to the. I'm not kidding you.
After the
Watch it.
Like there's going to be lions.
Watch it sometime. Every time I see grass swaying now, I go, what?
Oh,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Watch it. Yeah.
That's Ghosts in the Darkness. I'll have to put that on my list.
The lions, maneless lions of Sabo, they're in the Smithsonian.
Okay.
They finally killed them both. And both. I've seen them.
based on a true story.
Oh, yeah.
Oh.
Yeah. Okay. How about that?
Yeah.
All right.
Well, we could,
Val Kilmer, one of the lead guys. Yeah.
Yeah. It seems familiar. Like I'm familiar with the movie, but I don't think I've seen that one.
It's worth watching.
So, but yeah, Jaws.
Not by yourself though. Make sure it's a group of people.
we're talking about refurbishing pools and
how we get here.
Yeah, how we get here? But what if we refurbish Jaws? Because you could, like with all the
put on the shark suits.
We could be that. The shark suit would be a great idea, right?
And we don't
All right.
want to leave the impression that refurbs are scary. Oh, that's really not.
We could do a trailer on that. Yeah. Ooh,
all right. That's cool.
Right there. Now, who's not scared of something like that? Right. So, yeah.
This guy's never drinking coffee.
Yeah, they spewed their coffee and called us and said, we need some help. So what I can see right here is we took the step out of the end and we put a wall system up.
Can you patch that liner?
You can. Right. All right, dive into the dumpster and patch away.
All right. Just looking at some of the
job. But somebody's got to do it. And we're just your people. And I think
this could be this one that we've doubled up.
Yeah, I think we have. For sure.
Oh, we've already shown this one?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, there we are. I recognize it now. So my bad. Let's see. The last one. And have we shown this one yet?
I don't think so. It's I'd like to see, I see that we've got a round step on the end. I don't know if that was original goods or if we are a round tanning shelf on the end, if we built that into the pool, or if that was originally, because we did a few of those several years ago.
Interesting.
You can see that. You see it's got a set. And I think that is not, I think was original goods right there.
Now it doesn't even seem like a place where you could actually lounge out as much as you could just kind of sit on it and hang your feet up.
It's not, but you'd be surprised. I think if you got the right size lounger. A lot of loungers are about 7 feet long, but the base of the lounger is basically about 5, and then the back, the adjustable back is that takes out the other couple feet.
Okay.
I know that's roughly. But that's before the liner got bitten back, and now the liner's backed back, and looked like we had some work cut out for us on the get the wrinkles out of the shelf. But that looks more like that they needed to get their either the brick coping replaced or their aluminum replaced, and we just went in and I'm gonna say it was brick or aluminum. We didn't get it all the way up to the top of that form there, so That's a not an uncommon thing. It's people that want to go through the expense of doing this are tired of looking at the white aluminum and want something different. So,
all right. So those are all of the ones that I had in Service Titan.
yeah.
So that I pulled now. And of course, we do have the Tinkle refurbishment.
Okay, right. I know you got a video on that somewhere.
Which we have a video, and I can put up here the link to that, or in the description. You can click over and see that.
I have around Cesar, Illinois. I've got a job. It's probably a 20-year-old pool. It's a 20 by 40 pool with 2-foot radius corners and an automatic pool cover, like cover star. So I've got an order. It's got a nice round aluminum coping on it, but there's no such thing as a nice aluminum coping, I guess some people would say. But the customer wants that exposed edge. So now I've got to order the new track to go down the sides for the automatic cover. And then we're doing one of Larry's signature step shelf combination there. Except I think what they're going to do is from the side closest to the house, they're going to do a 4-foot step and then a 16-foot wide shelf all the way down. It's going to be like yours, except the shelf is going to be probably almost double the size, I would think, of what you got. Would you did an 8 by 8 shelf on yours?
8 by 10.
8 by 10.
8 was steps.
So not quite double. So the 8 by 16. And the cool thing about those tanning shelves is if you could, in that 16-foot one that we're doing, they could easily put in 2 umbrella holders and then have 4 chairs sitting across there. And it would just totally change the look of their pool, because right now what they've got is a 20 by 40 pool with a little corner white fiberglass step. We never did those to speak of because we didn't like them. And these people want to explore new opportunities. So they're going to have a big tanning shelf. But when we're showing these shelves and these add-ons here, some people like to put like bubblers where you've got this frothy lit water tower coming up, and it's beautiful at night, and that's an option. But just the idea of sticking a umbrella in think about how hot it is in the summer months around here, and think about if you want to be outside and in a cool area, what a place to be than under an umbrella that's over concrete. And as opposed, you could be over concrete without an umbrella. So you got 150-degree concrete, and instead now you're over 85-degree water and in the shade. So it's a really cool place to be. You reach down right below you, grab some water, or slide it off your chair, get into the water.
That's one of my biggest complaints about when it gets really hot. I like to swim in an overcast day so that the concrete doesn't burn. I'm a city boy. When my feet hit that hot concrete, I'm moving real fast.
Right. Well, I was in mine yesterday, 118.
Yeah, that's when I'm yesterday.
Heat index, and the water was 89, 90, and it
beautiful.
felt so good.
Yeah.
Well, do you have a heat and cool pump?
No, I do not, but I mean, the water was just so
because
because it was so hot.
We've had cool nights too. Last week, we've had one of those odd times in July where the nights get down into the 70s. And so it'll cool your water off pretty dramatically, pretty quick. But in the case of when the water's, it gets to like 95 degrees at night, it cools down to a nice breezy 88 all night fine, Then the next day, the water, you'll find yourself in 90-something degree water. And I was just going to give a quick plug for the heater chiller pumps that we put on a lot of pools. So I'm surprised you don't have that yet. You might need it though. Thought about it. Well, because some people say you can't make water too hot for me.
Oh yeah, no. Yeah. That's my wife likes that. She likes the warm water. Yesterday was too cold water. I'm like, it's 108 degrees out.
Right.
Like I want to sit on a chunk of ice in the pool. That's me. But getting out on the concrete. So I have an idea. And I had this yesterday. I was like, I used to go to Phoenix all the time. And what they have in some of the buildings in Phoenix, when you're walking around outside, are little misters. Almost like you're part of the produce department. And you're just walking around, it's like, right, constant, and it keeps you cool. Why don't, or maybe there is, those same produce misters in, every 4 feet in the concrete somewhere that you could just flip a switch and your whole concrete would stay wet and misty.
You can do it, and it takes a high pressure pump with the right. I did it for effect on a Vanishing Edge pool at a house that I built for myself one time, and it's kind of partsy, and then you got to winterize it.
Okay,
right? And if you don't, I know people who did it, and
but it is a thing. So there are people that have misters on the concrete to keep it cool.
Yeah, and in Arizona, it's so the climate is so dry that you can mist and you can get that feeling. It's almost not even wet by the time by the time it hits you, it just feels cool. But in here, it's like it picks up more water. Next thing you know, you're soaking wet.
And cool in front of a hose.
You're cool, but you're soaking wet. Yeah, so it doesn't work quite as well in more humid climates.
I think. Okay.
But I don't know what you think about this, Brad, but you saw my deck. It's got the lights now.
Yes.
I was walking around barefooted on my concrete yesterday.
I know what you're going to say.
Because of that,
steer away from the old
the washed aggregate.
Yeah, that will fry bacon. But that pool deck that you saw of mine, I was barefooted all over it yesterday.
Same exact deal. And I can't explain it, but you did stamped concrete, no sealer,
and it's light color.
Yes. And we did it at the hotel, and then later I sealed it with an acrylic sealer, which was a mistake. It didn't look as pretty. I should have did a penetrating sealer, which we're starting to do that now on just everything. Just put a penetrating sealer down, because concrete seeming to erode a lot faster than it used to. And there's podcasts out there that people are exposing concrete plants. For making the concrete out of less. And so now we're just going to seal everything. But where I'm going with that is at the hotel, same thing. It can be hot as everything else, and it's not as hot as you.
It's not hot at all.
No,
it's actually not bad.
Before that refurb, when I got out of the pool, you better have a pair of flip flops.
Right.
Yeah. Right there.
I was splashing the pool. I was splashing the concrete, so I can walk on it.
The round pea gravel just seems to hold heat, and then just the darker color, just anything that's darker. I mean, you can do the same thing with that stamped concrete. You can get it colored a darker color, and it'll just smoke your feet. I mean, we encourage people. We highly encourage people not to do the darker stamped concrete.
Oh yeah, it's crazy. Yeah, I like the here where you can cook. Like bacon out while you're by the pool. It's just, I also thought while I was out there, has anyone ever done, you ever been to a children's play area where it's like this rubber or the crushed rubber or whatever, and and the whole floor is that soft rubber that like seems to last forever.
You would think it would. There's something I heard about that was basically stay away, and this is why I can't remember why, but I remembered stay away. I don't remember what it was,
because I would think that like a side of a pool around the pool that could be, and you could do different designs in it and all kinds of stuff.
The shredding tires on that, I can't ever think that's just going to be hot, super hot.
Actually, it wasn't. If I recall, of course, when I think about it, you're not barefoot on it a lot. So, but whenever I was sitting on it, and it might have been a fall day, plus I lived in South Dakota, so it's not hot anyway.
My daughter lives in Yuma, and they talk about the difference in the heat. No humidity. Well, it's not as hot out.
Right.
When you wear a thick pair of tennis shoes and you can feel the heat when you're walking across the parking lot, it's hot.
Really?
Yeah.
They put the ACs on the
115 temp. No humidity.
God, yeah.
I went to grill on their stainless steel grill. They said, "Hey, Dad, we know you like to grill.
Right.
How about cooking the chops?" I
Set
went out
it on
there.
top of the grill.
I went out there and looked at the temp, and it said 165.
Yeah.
And I cook it 250, and I'm thinking, geez, I even need to turn the gas.
Yeah, you might have to turn it on. Just
Inside the grill, it was 160.
The thermometer, when I walked out there, it
Yeah.
said 165.
we were talking yesterday, bro. I went to school with his daughter.
Oh, really?
He was out there and talking about that.
You just dated me or you won. I'm not sure
Wow.
where you're going.
Yeah. Wow. Okay. Well, we could stop right there.
No, I was just saying, that's how young I am. I'm the young whippersnapper here.
Yeah, right.
Pay no attention to the gray in the beard.
Exactly. Like nothing to see here.
Yeah.
So that's it. So that's it for as far as the refurbs going on there. But man, I guess I'm going to say my favorite one was that that beach entry there. I think the degree of difficulty on that was a lot. It's a big spend, but it's cool looking finished product there.
Absolutely.
I guess if they can dream it, we can do it. Maybe build it. Yeah. Take a little money, put those big dreams.
Next time on the Jaws cast, we will talk about sharks and how they affect your pool.
So it's been Shark Week, right?
It is now. Let's call. I don't know if it has been or not. I don't.
Well, Cindy we'll be up at the hotel watching Jaws on the screen that we got out by the pool. And have you seen the screen that we got out by the pool?
I haven't.
Okay, so it's not a screen; it's just white metal. We framed it out.
I just don't remember.
Sort of, and yep. So she'll set it out there, and the kids will be swimming, and they're unaffected by it.
Wow, now
It's so boring. I mean,
Could you imagine watching it in one of those? You ever seen the drive-ins with the next to the lake, and you're in the little lake, you're like just sitting in a boat or sitting in a inner tube watching Jaws out in the lake at night.
If Jaws was an alligator and you did it in Florida, there's no way that would scare the absolute hell out of me. You know what? There's no way I would be.
Lake Placid's scarier in Florida.
What's that?
The crocodile, the alligator. You ever seen Lake Placid? Betty White, and she's feeding. There was a little alligator that she continued to feed, and it grew to be this monster. And was eating people at the lake. Great movie, Lake Placid. Yeah. Anyway, all right. So this has been another episode of the Aloha Pools and Spas Deep Dive Podcast. And,
worth every penny.
There you go. Yep. No charge on this one for you to watch it. And with that, we say dive safely. Watch those sharks.
Appreciate you, Larry.